bond was advertised in the morning, opened in the morning, and closed in the evening of the same day. Less than 24 hours. We were told by the finance ministry that they attracted a lot of interest. False. Only 2 companies came in. One company bought 95% and another company bought 5%. That in itself is questionable with the way Ghana has always done its bond. So you want to ask, which company did the purchase of 95%? Why would one company buy 95% of Ghana's bonds? And then who is behind that company? You realize that there is somebody who is on the board of that company that has bought, and the company that bought our bonds is called Franklin Templeton from the US. Now, on the Franklin Templeton board sits a gentleman called Honorable Trevor Garmy. He's a board, and he's not just on the board of Templeton, he's also the board chairman for Enterprise Insurance Limited. Now, Enterprise Insurance Limited is owned largely by another Ghanaian company called Data Bank. Data Bank is owned basically and largely by one man, our finance minister. So our finance minister issues a bond. That bond is not widely published. And then one company that a board member of his own associate or affiliated company sits on that other board comes in there. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic reading for students of law. Article 284, conflict of interest. Again, if you want to know, take Enterprise Group. Let me tell you that, let me give you the board of directors of Enterprise Group. Mr. Kaligajipo. He's the group CEO, chief executive of Enterprise Group. Dr. Angela Oforiata. She's the wife of the finance minister. And they're all on the board of the Enterprise Group. And it is this same Enterprise Group that is owned by Data Bank. Okay. It is this same Enterprise Group that is partnering with Franklin Templeton to buy Ghana's bonds that are being issued by the finance minister. So you see a conflict of interest there? Oh, well, if anybody doesn't see it, then the sun doesn't rise in the east and set in the west. I see.
There's your brother here, YK. On behalf of Common Purpose Alliance Ghana, CPAC for short. Greetings to you once again. From the Queensland, this is your brother YK. Today is the 18th of April 2017. Time check now is 9:53 p.m. in UK. Ghana, dear Kamia, is about 8:53. As I listened to Sam George, I was mebutoya completely, because if this is true, if what he's saying is true, then we need to all get involved in our politics and call things by their proper name. If this is true, then definitely this is conflict of interest. And we need to call things by their proper name and condemn it. And condemn it, and condemn it, and condemn it. We need to be harsher with our choice of words. Other than that, these politicians will never change. I'm just waiting to hear the reaction from the NPP, the ruling NPP government. I have an issue with the finance minister being an owner of a bank and all that stuff. Yes, the reason why I have an issue with the finance minister said he he owns a bank or he's got majority shares in a bank is that it's very tempting, that there would not be there is not going to be this kind of issue popping up. It is very tempting. So, you know, it makes it very easy for him to stay in the private sector and do his business. I I was just wondering, why did the president choose him? Why didn't he just stay out like Gabriel Chidaku doing his business? If Gabriel Chidaku's company gets a contract in government and he gets it through competitive bidding, I mean, who is going to blame him? He's a businessman. The business has to be done. Government needs to run business. Government needs to run business with private companies. But once you are in there as a finance minister, and if what some judge is saying is true, then it is very bad for Nanado's government. Because he said that if anybody is coming into his government to make money, he should go to the private sector. And here is a case of finance minister through this kind of affiliated links of his mother company, Data Bank, and its associate insurance company, having a board chairman being on the board of a company that bought 95% of government what do you call it, government bills, 95% of it, that the finance minister actually, from some judge, it wasn't properly advertised. If this is true, we have a problem. When do we when does this end? When can we when can we get politicians that want to be at least 99.9% honest with the job that they are doing for the country? There's a reason why we have this conflict of interest in the constitution. And the constitution, as bad as it is, if it's being enforced, then we're gonna have a quite good democracy. But where is this going to end? If someone conducts himself like this, if it's a conflict of interest, what is going to happen? Is the opposition going to um, bring the case before the Shraj to deal with it? What is going to happen next? There's your brother YK. I'm waiting to hear the reaction from the NPP. Sure, politicians not sure what they're gonna be. But the problem with the NDC is that when conflict of interest issues were raised under the leadership of John Mahama, Ibrahim Mahama, and everything to do with soul sourcing and all that, they didn't find anything wrong with it. So we need to take up the mantle of civil society and fight this battle for the people. If we leave to the NDC, there will be politics of equalization all over the place. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation greater and stronger. God bless you.